Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we will start to solve some of the problems to do a quick revision. Alright, so for this particular question, we are required to simplify this algebraic expression. And notice what I would do, because I know that 8 can be written as 4 times 2 is equals to 8, right? Okay, so continue to write my P. And notice what Mr. Tan here will do. Instead of writing Q power 2, I will actually write Q times Q. This will go a long way later on in helping us to simplify this. Okay, so there is still my 4. And again, I saw Q power 2, and this is what I would do, so that I could then divide off the common factors. Meaning that if I see a factor that is the same, 4, I'm going to divide off. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Q divided by Q is 1. Q divided by Q is 1. And final answer, I'm left with 2 times P to P, because the denominator would have been over 1. 2P over 1 is still 2P. Right, let's move on to the next question. Now, for this part of the video, we are going to simplify the following. And the very first thing that comes to my mind when I see this is, can I factorize any part of the fraction? Meaning, can I factorize the numerator and or the denominator? This is something that you should always ask yourself, okay? So in this case here, I saw that I could. Alright, so for the first part here, 3a minus 12, I saw that there is a common factor 3. So I'm going to take out 3 as the common factor. I'm left with a minus 4. 3 times 4 is 12. As for the a squared minus 16, this is the part where I start to remember the following at the right side of the screen. Then I remember that this is a special note to myself. A squared minus b squared is equals to a plus b, a minus b. So I could then, looking at a squared minus 16, I could actually rewrite a 16 as 4 squared, because 4 times 4 is 16. And therefore, applying the special product, I would then have a plus 4, a minus 4. So I could rewrite a squared minus 16 as a plus 4, a minus 4. And the moment I do that, I saw that there is a common factor, a minus 4, which I could divide off to get 1 over 1. So final answer would then be 3 over a plus 4. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, for this part of the question, we will have to rewrite this as a single fraction in its simplest form. So with that in mind, then I'm going to start to simplify first, because I saw that we are going to divide by a fraction. So take note how Mr. Tan will do. This is the same as what we have learned previously. that every time we divide by a fraction, it is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, and from here then we could then start to simplify. Okay, so Mr. Tan would rewrite u square as u times u, still over my u vt, still multiplying by t over 6u, and actually my 6 I will not write as 6 anymore. I would actually, for this 6, right, blue color, I will rewrite it as 2 times 3 because then I could do the following. I could divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number or same variable, meaning, so u divided by u, that will give me 1 over 1. U divided by u, that will give me 1 over 1. U divided by u, that will give me 1 over 1. T divided by t, that will give me 1 over 1. Such that the final answer for the top would be 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is still, yep, 1. And the denominator, 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is still 1. Still have my v times 3, 3v. And that will be the final answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are required to write as a single fraction in its simplest form. So in this question, right, the very first thing that I would start to think about is, can I factorize? And the numerator or the denominator? And the answer is yes, I could. So the very first thing I saw is that for both 16p squared minus 4 and 4p minus 2, I could factorize them by taking out common factor. For the first part will be 4, and I'm left with 4p squared minus 1. 4p minus 2, the common factor will be 2, and I'm left with 2p minus 1. And if you could factorize, you continue to factorize, and I realized I could, because I remember that a squared minus b squared equals to a plus b, a minus b. And Mr. Tan saw that 4p squared minus 1 can be written as 2p squared minus 1 squared, because 2p squared is 2p times 2p, 2 times 2 is 4, p times p is p squared, 1 squared is 1 times 1, it still gives me 1. And because I know it can be written as such, I could then apply this special product where my 2p is my a now, so it's 2p, and my b is my 1, so it's 2p plus 1, 2p minus 1. And so I would continue to rewrite this as 2p plus 1, 2p minus 1. The rest stays the same. And from here, I could then start to divide off the common factor that is from numerator and denominator, meaning I saw this 2p minus 1, numerator, denominator, I could divide them off to give me 1 over 1. 4 can be divided by 2. And then 2 divided by 2 to give me 1 over 1. And we cannot simplify any further. So the final answer would be 2p plus 1 times 3. That would be 3 times 2p plus 1 over pm. And we cannot simplify any further. That will be the final answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we are required to solve this problem. So we are given that w and x are positive integers such that, this is a very important keyword. W is directly proportional to k squared. From here, this line, I would be able to apply the general formula for direct proportion. So let's bear that in mind, okay? And then they give us when w equals to 18, x equals to 3. This will be useful. So w, when it is 18, x will be 3. So meaning that I could substitute these values of w and x to give me the value of k. Okay, so for part A, this is what you will see, Mr. Tan substituting the value of w as 18. And the value of x as 3. And take note, this is 3 squared, meaning I will put a bracket. And after that, when I solve and simplify, I could find the value of k easily. Okay, so this will be 18 equals to k. 3 squared is 9. So therefore, I just need to divide by 9 on both sides to give me the value of k. And once I have this, I would then write down the equation. W equals to 2x squared. That would be the answer for part A for the equation connecting w and x. As for part B, now they give me the value of w, 32. All we have to do is to substitute 32 into the formula or the equation, and we will then be able to solve for x. Okay, so I'm going to divide by 32 on both sides. To find my x squared, this will be 16. And therefore, in order to find x, I just need to square root 16. And at this point, right, you will notice that every time I square root something, usually there is a positive or a negative answer to this. In this case, it's either 4 or negative 4. But when I check the question again, I saw something. They are both positive integer. This means that this negative 4, the answer is not applicable in this question. And therefore, the final answer, x will be equals to 4. Alright. So if they did not tell us that x is a positive integer, then we will then have to accept negative 4 as one of the answer. Alright. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, for this part of the question, we just need to expand and simplify. And every time we do that, do take note. We multiply in, and we saw that this is a negative 3w multiplying by a positive w. This will give me negative 3w squared. Negative 3w multiplied by negative 5v. Negative multiplied by negative. Positive 3 times 5 is 15. W times y is wy. And we are done with this question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the question where we are required to expand and simplify this. A bracket multiplied by a bracket. So this is what I would do. I can then multiply the terms individually. This will be 8x power 2. 4x times 5 will be positive 20x. Negative 9 times 2x, negative 18x. Negative 9 times positive 5, negative 45. And I would then have to simplify the like terms. 8x squared is the only x squared term. Positive 20x minus 18x left positive 2x. Negative 45 is the only constant term. And this will be the answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are required to factorize the following completely. Well, if I see a common factor, I'm going to take out as a common factor. But before I do that, I will rewrite b squared as b times b. And my 9 as 3 times 3. Well, the reason for me to do that is because it will help me to sieve out the common factor quite easily. 3 is the common factor, b is also the common factor, so that I can take them out as the common factor. And I'm left with b minus 3a. And that will be the answer for this question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are going to factorize the following completely. Well, I'm going to make use of the cross chart when I see us trying to factorize a quadratic expression with 3 terms. So in this case here, you will see me writing 2p squared negative 28 first, and my positive 1b here. So the factors for 2p squared will be 2p times p. That will give me 2p squared. And for 28, let me just write out all the factors for 28. And I would then need to choose a pair of the factors such that I will get 1p. And this is what I would choose, because I know that 2p times 4 will give me 8p. P times 7 will give me 7p. And now I saw this negative sign, meaning that one of them must be the negative. It will be 7, because 8 minus 7 will then give me my positive 1p. And so we are able then to factorize the whole thing now with the following. So the answer will be 2p and negative 7, p and positive 4. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we are required to factorize the following. So if I see 4 terms, and when we want to factorize, then I will actually see them as 2 groups. Okay, I'm going to take out the common factor for the first group here, because I see common factor. So if there's no common factor, then you try to rearrange the terms such that you will be able to get common factor within a group. Okay, so in this case I saw that B is a common factor. I'm left with 3c minus 5. As for this group, positive 3a is a common factor, and I'm left with 3c minus 5 as well. And once you do that, you will see that the bracket is exactly the same, meaning this bracket is a common factor as well. I'm going to take out 3c minus 5 as the common factor, and I'm left with b plus 3a. And we cannot factorize any further. This will be the final answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this video where we are given that r squared plus s squared equals to 100, and 2 times bracket r plus s squared equals to 8. And we are tasked to find rs. Okay, so let's start with this part here first. Okay, so I would have the following: 2 times r plus s squared equals to 8. I'm going to divide by 2, so that is neater. 8 divided by 2, and therefore I will get this. And at this point, because I saw r plus s squared is actually equals to 100, then it kept me thinking, how can I get r squared plus s squared? And in order to do that, this is what I will do. I am going to expand r plus s squared using this special formula. Okay, so this is something for you all to take note. A plus b bracket square is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Applying this, I would get r square plus 2rs plus s square. Then at this point, I am going to rearrange the term. Okay, such that r square is in front, s square is in front. And I notice something. I got my r square plus s square, and I know the value of r square plus s square, which is 100. So I'm no longer going to write r square plus s square anymore. I'm going to just write as 100. And I'm going to minus 100 on both sides, so that my positive 100, you will see I'm minusing 100. We are getting closer to our final answer. This will be equals to negative 4 minus 100 is negative 96. And therefore, if 2rs is equals to negative 96, then I would then get my final answer. So my final answer, rs, which is what they want, will be negative 96 divided by 2. And we are done with this question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are given that f equals to 2r cubed over c, and the question requires us to express r in terms of f and c, meaning that they would like us to write the final answer as r equals to something. Okay, so I'm going to start with the formula, and I'm going to multiply by c throughout the equation, so that I will get fc equals to 2r cubed. And since they want r to be on one side, I'm going to divide by 2. And finally, if I do not want, I'm given r cubed and I would like to find the r, then I will have to cube root it. And because they want to make r the subject, so the last part here is actually very important. When you write out the final answer for such question, this is really important. You must write r on the left hand side. If not, marks will be deducted. Alright, so that will be the final answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this part of the video where we are required to simplify this addition of fractions and to write the final answer as a single fraction. Okay, so the very first thing I see is that, hey, I cannot factorize any part of the numerator and denominator. So the next step would then be to multiply as such. So that I can express them neatly into a single fraction, y minus 3 times 2y minus 1. Plus 5 2y minus 1. Okay, so that is the first step done. Next, we do need to continue to simplify so that it will be a simplest form, meaning I am now going to expand and simplify the numerator by expanding them So you will get 7y minus 21 plus 10y negative 5. The whole thing is still over my y minus 3, 2y minus 1. And after I expand, I must simplify, right? The like terms. 7y plus 10y would be 17y. Negative 21 minus 5, this will give me negative 26, and I cannot simplify further. This will be the final answer for this question. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this question where we are required to expand a minus b square. Well, for those who forgot about the special product of this a minus b bracket square, you could do out the full working as such. Okay, a square negative ab, negative ba and negative ab is the same, positive b square, so that you will get a square minus 2ab plus b square. And because of the word hence, means we must use the result here, where a square minus b square equals to a square minus 2ab plus b square for part B. So part B, I will have this. And I'm going to make it such that I get something minus something square, where the something and minus something still give me back my 495. I'm going to choose 500 minus 5. And thereafter, now I know that my 500 will be my A. 5 will be my B, which I can then apply into this formula. So I will have 500 square minus 2 times 500 times 5 plus 5 square. Alright, and this will be quite a simple thing to do, because 500 square is 500 times 500. Well, that will give me 25, 0, 0, 0, 0 minus 2 times 5 is 10, 10 times 500 is 5,000. 5 times 5 is 25. And from here, I would then be able to get 245,000 plus 25. Okay. This will give me this. And finally, the final answer, 245025. And we have successfully used the result from part A to evaluate the answer for part B. Let's move on to the next question. Hello everyone, welcome to this question on probability. So we have a bag that has in total 20 balls. This is important. And each ball has a number 1 to 20. A ball is then drawn at random. Find the probability that the number on the ball is a factor of 6. So for part A, right? Of course, I will then need to know what are the factors of 6. So in this case here, I will have 1 times 6 is 6, so 1 and 6. 2 times 3, and no more. So out of the number 1 to 20, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 numbers that will be factors of 6, meaning that the probability that it is a factor of 6 will be 4 out of 20, and that will be 1 over 5. Done. For part B, it is a prime number, so for prime numbers, please remember the first few prime numbers. Okay, the first few prime number before 20 will start from 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, cannot, 11, 13, 17, and 19. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 numbers out of 20 that are prime numbers. So this will be the probability. Okay, 2 out of 5, simplest form. And for part C, that it is a multiple of 24. So multiples of 24, right? Start from 24, you know. So is there any number out of 1 to 20 that is multiple of 24? No. Very good. So this is an impossible event. So the answer is simply 0. And we are done with this video. So if you like this video, do give it a thumbs up and press the subscribe button. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.